but God's will is going to be accomplished, and there's nothing they can do to stop it. And they're just so miserable. They're so hating life, and it doesn't bring any joy to the heart of God, because it's written that he doesn't delight in the destruction of the wicked. Okay? He wishes none to perish, but all to come to repentance. So it's not the kind of thing where you get on a high horse if you're righteous and start just saying, oh, great, I can't wait for the evildoers to be thrown down. Well, it's going to happen in God's time. That's it. But he's going to mete out justice. He's going to get his way. But he can't tolerate this forever. He's not a paper tiger. He's got to do it to be found, continue to be found vindicated. Okay? He's got to do something for the righteous, for the meek, for his saints, for his beloved children that are trying hard. They're really suffering with trying to cope and contend in this evil ass world. And God is going to put his foot down, and that's the harvest of the souls of men. And you don't want to go to the down place, you want to go to the up place. And it's that simple, and he wants that for everybody. But it makes perfect sense. It makes perfect sense. Just like any really good parent, at some point you might have to separate your children, and nobody can think of a more wise solution. But these people, they'd be miserable in heaven. So how is God going to tolerate that? You see, if they don't have an advantage, if they can't get a one-up, if they don't have a privilege, okay, they don't want to be there. They don't value their soul or conscience. Those are the people that are going to be ruling in hell. And they're very, very, very candid about that, okay? They say, yes, I'd rather reign in hell than serve in heaven. And if earth is going to be turned into a heaven, may God's will be done on earth as it is in heaven, according to the Lord's Prayer. That's what's going to happen here. And they would be miserable. Do you understand why they can't exist there? Why can't God's got to separate them? They can't tolerate them. They want an advantage over others. They can't be there. You can say, well, that's mean. Well, it's sure not nice to his saints, the meek, the righteous, okay, his beloved children that are trying to walk the straight and narrow, be decent, upright people, and treat others the way they want to be treated as their own selves, their own children, okay, maybe better than. Okay, it's not fair to them, is it, to let the bullies continue to rule their lives, run them around by the nose, create the policies they're all forced to live under, while these elitists in their ivory towers exempt themselves? No, God's not going to put up with that forever. Hey, can you imagine what God, I wouldn't just hate my life in this world. I'd hate my life for all eternity. I'd spit in God's face. I'd hate a God like that. I'd hate a God like that. No, you can't be lukewarm here. You got to be very clear. God is completely vindicated. He's always right. His wisdom is unsurpassable. He's not to blame for anything negative all through creation, all through history. From the beginning, dawn of creation, God is not to blame for anything, but he is to be glorified for all things good, everything good you've ever enjoyed or ever will enjoy, all your five senses, your ability to appreciate cuteness. What is cuteness? It's love. That's the feeling you're getting. It's the most beautiful thing in the world. Love. You feel love. Yesterday at work, landscaping, I was down on my knees pulling weeds, and this guy was walking his dog, a little chihuahua in a cul-de-sac, safe to be off leash. And this little chihuahua I've seen before, we've met before. He came up to me, and he put his nose right up to me. He's just smiling and wagging his little tail. You know, I mean, I felt so blessed. And I mean, who do you think? It's like the guy, I waved to the guy. I mean, I let him know that, you know, that really sweetened my day. I mean, it's God. God did that. Love God. You love a puppy dog. You love a kitty cat. You love some other cute little cuddly baby creature. They're adorable. Who gave you the ability to recognize cuteness and the love, the accompanying love that fills your essence, your being, and it feels so good. You wonder why it's the most powerful force in the universe, why people will die for one another. That's it, baby. Cuteness, the power of cuteness, the power of love. Okay, that's what we're talking about here. And then I got a neighbor across the street. He's got a chihuahua. He's a very similar looking chihuahua. out there. I happened to be out there warming up my car, and he just got home from work. It looks like lets his dogs out. He's got a German Shepherd and a little Chihuahua, Chulo, and Khalees. And Chulo came just strutting up to me, and I just put myself on his level, and nose to nose with him, and pet him. And I mean, he just was just giving me love. I mean, he's such a sweetheart. Sometimes I'll hear him barking over there if nobody's around, just a little bit, just enough to get my attention, and I'll say, "Hi, Chulo," and he doesn't. He stops barking because he can recognize my voice, and he knows who's out there. What's going on? He's a dog. So dogs are, but God, I mean, you thank God. I mean, it's great to be alive, great to have life. One thing we all know, we exist, and it's a good thing. Life is good, death is bad, but why is that? Why? See, these are things we need to ask these questions. We need to take them to God. I mean, why is it such a terrible thing when people die? But we've known that our whole lives that we're going to die. We're born to die, and so why does this have to be a bad thing? Why be born at all? Why don't we all just abort ourselves? You understand? Why don't we kill ourselves before we leave the womb? But you see, then we wouldn't have been able to experience life as a human being. And I mean, this is incredible what we're a part of. We're cosmic creatures. We're incredible creatures. We're vastly unique from all the other creatures on Earth. Our ability to imagine it's mind-blowing, mind-blowing. And it's evidenced through every stitch of technology we have. So, I mean, the idea that you can imagine a world that's perfect down to the smallest detail, that's a true statement. That's real. You can do that. You can't deny it. You can. Anything at all that bugs you, organic or inorganic, gone. At the finger of God, gone. We can't leave it to men because we're impotent, frail, pitiable, human, carnal, mortal beings. I mean, so we can't depend on people to do that. We need to turn to God. We all need God. I mean, I'm not being religious. I'm being scientific in my mind because it's about understanding. It's about ancient knowledge and the accompanying empowerment, but that empowerment comes with a price. It's a responsibility. Once you see clearly, you've got to go help other people to see clearly. It's sort of like love. Love isn't love till you give it away. It's the sharing of love that you experience. So empowerment is like that. So you got to go out and enlighten others. You don't keep knowledge yourself and cover it up. It's like Jesus in the story of the parable of the talents. You go out there and you invest it. You put it out there. And even if a lot of that investment goes to waste, like the analogy, the parable of the seeds, sowing seeds, like trying to get people to believe and bring them over. If you sense somebody's in Babylon in confusion, okay, then you have an obligation to try to reach them and throw out some seeds. And if a lot of them are wasted, it's not you've got to leave it to God. You've got to just do what you can do. And some of those seeds will end up in fertile soil, and they will sprout, and they will bear a crop. Like Jesus said, some 10, 20, 30, and the same thing with the talents. The talents are money in this case. It's investing money, an analogy he used in that parable. But, it makes sense. I mean, ancient wisdom, man. I mean, we got to, life's short, get smart quick as you can. You don't have to have a high IQ. You don't have to be academic. Learn. The stuff God puts out, a child can understand. That's why he said, unless we be like little children, we'll not enter the kingdom of heaven. Don't hinder the children from coming to him. They understand much more than you realize. And it's all coming upon the world. God's going to push his way here. This is him putting his foot down. He's going to demand justice. He's going to demand that the captives be set free. Understand how they're being held captives through the money masters of misery. It's the same old story. Feudalism from old is feudalism of new, neo-feudalism. It's about theft, about stealing the wealth that belongs to the productive class, or at least everybody. I'm not going to take anything away from the elitists, from the rich. That's their earth too. So let them be rich too. But they've got to let everybody else be rich, and that's what they don't want. They will not have a privilege. They will not have any advantage. They will not have anything special if that is the paradigm, right? So you can see their motivation, their incentive to wanting to keep people poor but keep themselves very rich. And then these sickos leave it all to their kids who didn't do anything for the money, and that's okay. There's no laws against that. That's fine. You understand how capricious and arbitrary and fickle the laws of men are, but we can't even follow laws of God, treat others the way you want to be treated in your business affairs? Of course. I mean, the money matters are very important to God. This is how he oppresses. He wants his children free. He doesn't want them chained to the money master's misery, led around, stolen from. No, that makes sense. That's what even a crappy parent wants for their kids. They hear their kids are burdened unduly. Even a crappy parent objects. Okay? You understand? I hope I'm getting through to people that really kind of see things the way I'm seeing things, that God put in my heart and mind to try to convey as best as possible, as concisely and coherently as I can. Though I struggle with it, I'm very passionate, and I'm very upset about the direction my country has taken for over half a century. The theft of the wealth that belongs to the regular everyday people has been stolen for so long, and we're so embedded in that kind of nonsense. It's high housing costs are good. Stop it. Shut up. It's good for me. Shut up. I'm a lender. I'm a speculator. I'm an investor. I'm a real estate agent. I'm a landlord. Shut up. It's good for me. It's food on my family's table. Shut up. Business interests are always good according to the Chamber of Communists. But we all know that the interests of labor are often at odds with business interests. We're not going to have that discussion, though. Just shut up. It all makes sense. I'm going to tell you why it's good that we got rid of free parking downtown Santa Cruz and put up paper parks. Shut up. We're the Chamber of Communists. Shut up. We created jobs. Shut up. I get it. You don't. You're stupid. You're uneducated. Shut up. Oh, I get it. I get it. I get it real well. And you can too. And we can overthrow these tyrants, these big, fat, stinking turds, and all their little minion, sycophantic turdlets. Okay, they're gone. Okay, and I'm sorry if I come across arrogant, but you know what? I've been watching this thing for so long, my friends. Listen, everybody, I'm talking to my enemies as my friend. I'm calling you my friend too. What's the worst I'm going to do to you? Put you in an ethics rehabilitation center where I'll come and visit you and we'll talk things over. And you'll understand why you got to treat others the way you want to be treated in all your business affairs. Why you need sound economic policies. Talk to the Congress and the Senate and the executive and at the Federal Reserve. Show up. You'll all be in the ethics rehab and at the Labor Department. Yeah, you're going to all be in there. Okay, and I'll come and visit you, and we'll talk this thing through. I'll be unemotional, because when I'm around other people on a social level, I don't get into these discussions. This is the one place I can be a good American and really vent myself, be who I need to be. Okay, and I wouldn't trade being an egalitarian for everything in the world, and I want you to be an egalitarian. If there's any words I use that you don't understand, please look them up. Okay, because looking up words is one of my favorite pastimes. Even words I'm very confident I know, I like to expand my understanding and to use the terms confidently and to hone my communication skills. Okay, this is something I recommend one of my favorite hobbies. It's a pastime. I absolutely love it. It's very gratifying, very satisfying to me. I love to be able to communicate. I love to serve God, and by extension, I love to serve man. I need to. It's more than love to. I'm compelled to. It's like when a puppy dog comes up to you with all that love, it's smiling, wagging its little tail, just loving you for no good reason. I've got to reciprocate, man. It's irresistible. That's the nature of love. That's the nature of God. That's the nature of sharing good news, because it is good news. That's the news that God has to share with all of us. Eternal life in paradise. I mean, paradise, remember, it's ideal. It's perfect down to the smallest detail. And you have the capability to imagine. You have the ability to imagine that world. All the organic negative things gone. Okay? All the artificial suffering gone that are bugging you. Okay? Or bugging anybody else. Remember, because of the interconnectivity, or inextricable interconnectivity through osmosis. Okay? Scientific principle is affected. If anybody's suffering unnecessarily, that's a bad thing. You don't want that. Okay, if their suffering could be prevented, you want to do everything in your power, okay, with God as your witness, and go out there and affect change. Okay, this is what you must do. If you're going to rightly call yourself God's servant and his friend, and therefore by extension a servant to God, to humanity, okay, then this is something that it's a cross we all have to bear. But it's good. I mean, like the parable about the workers in the vineyard. The master of the vineyard goes out early in the day and finds workers. He agreed to pay them X amount. Then he went out midday and he agreed to pay them X amount. And then he went out toward the end of the day to find workers for the vineyard and he agreed to pay them